Didn't it ask me again?
Notice something different about us? Right here on Beyond the Screen, we have, how many is this? Our third in-person episode? Roll the tape.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Beyond the Screen. Believe it or not, we've done this before.
Long time ago.
Oh, yeah. You can go back. Honestly, on our first channel, episode kind of popped off. Hopefully this one does as well. It's been a very long time since we've recorded. This is at my place. If you watched the live stream for the Oscars, that was at Jake's, and it was a lot more presentable than the
Craft
/
room
studio / whatever we call our apartment, extra storage space. But welcome to another episode of Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, as always, is the one and the only Jake Holtzclaw. Jake, what up, man?
Oh, man. Where do I start? So I took a week off work, whole week, because I got to work on my truck. And let's see what else. I did an oil sample on the motorcycle. Found bearings are gone. Bearings are going. It could be ridden, but it's not wise. Once you find something like that out, you should definitely full engine rebuild. So that's kind of unfortunate and one of those things that like I can't do in an apartment garage. So we're gonna take it home. We're gonna do that over an extended period of time. Who knows? I might get a second one just because I got a bug, but maybe that's unwise. Maybe that's like you gotta have the motivation to fix your one and only, instead of getting another one to satiate your desires to ride, and then you're like, oh yeah, I still have that second one I have to fix.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like sad news, and then I have a whole week of vacation, so that's good news. I'm not sure. Ryan, what about you?
So for those who weren't here last week, I am now a teacher. And so the positive of being a teacher is that I get to teach something that I'm very excited about, which is videography and cinematography. On the negative, which there isn't really much, I'm tired. I talk 8 hours a day. I'm kind of paid to do that. And then I go home and I make lesson plans.
Talks for another 2 hours on Mondays.
On Mondays, I come home and I continue to talk. Luckily for me,
you get paid to do this.
I get, yeah, totally. But that's been really, that's going fantastic. We've begun the school year this past couple of weeks and just getting everything underway. I'm actually leading a new pathway where I'm at. And so that's a lot of fun and a lot of just different things that we're trying to get underway there. But that's as far as I've been in terms of just how I've been going. Got to see the in-laws this past weekend, so that was fantastic. Got to travel a little bit and got to hang out with people and say hello. Yeah, the in-laws. Yeah, my wife, and my mother-in-law, and all of them.
Don't get me started on mother-in-laws. I'm kidding.
You and who?
Nobody.
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to say when someone starts talking about mother-in-laws.
No, it's just don't get me started.
Don't get me started on them.
I love my mother-in-law. We've got a good relationship. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and break into our first segment of the day, which, as always, is box office. So if you're new here, you'll know, or you won't know, that we have 3 segments. The first of which, always box office. We go over our predictions from the previous week, and we break into the top 5. Then we give our predictions for the following week. So case in point, let's go ahead and show them, Jake. Starting off, Jake predicted Spider-Man Brand New Day this past week, followed by The End of Oak Street, then The Odyssey, Paw Patrol, The Dino Movie at 4, and The Brink of War at 5, getting 2 out of 5 correct, excuse me. I was right behind him, predicting Spider-Man Brand New Day at 1, The End of Oak Street at 2, Paw Patrol at 3, The Odyssey at 4, and The Brink of War at 5, and I got 1 out of 5 correct. Then Claude, which is TJ, we call him lovingly TJ, the bot predicted Spider-Man at 1, The End of Oak Street at 2, The Odyssey at 3, Paw Patrol at 4, and The Brink of War at 5, getting as well 2 out of 5 correct. Bringing our season totals, as you can see, Jake still leads the way at 65, TJ's close behind at 59, and I'm right there on TJ's tail with 57 points scored. Still anybody's game. They're about halfway through the season. For those, again, who are new, we're doing this from March to March. So we start the week after the Oscars, and we're going up to the Oscars this year. We're going to crown a winner. And right now, Jake is firmly in the lead, up 8 on me and up 6 on the bot.
Yeah.
So we will see how things progress. Yeah, McQueen is fading has been a regular statement the past couple of weeks.
Something that Ryan is coining is just you wait. Just you wait.
Just hold on. Just wait.
2 weeks 2 weeks before the Oscars. Just you wait. 20 point lead. Just you wait.
You don't even know what's going to happen. Just you wait.
Just you wait, man. I could come into 20 points and
yeah.
Right.
I'm going to make a call and have 20 points.
Dude, throw out a Hail Mary bet. Just something crazy.
Well, honestly, would you do that if I was like in a month, this film, this film is going to pop off. And if it lands in like, let's say like it's more ambiguous. It's like
10 points.
Yeah. It's like if this film lands third and it's not even like a box office, sure. It's one of those that's like kind of throwing mud at the wall and hoping it sticks kind of thing, right? It's like if I pick this one to be third in a month and I get that, will you let me take 10? Will you let me?
Yeah, well, I mean,
okay.
At the time, you'll just have to decide the points and
if
it's a month out, then I could be like, okay, so that'll put him, if he hits it, it'll put him within a realm in which he could win. It can't be like I get 50 points and there's no chance for me
it's got to be
fight
it's got to be reasonable, but that would be a pretty fun. So let me know if I should do that. And we'll look forward.
You bet?
Yeah, what would you bet?
What are you betting on?
Yeah. If you stop betting now, you're one away from winning big. Like you're always just one away. And so
people who don't win big usually quit right before they do.
Right. I'm living on the wrong end of that right now. I keep betting things that I shouldn't, and I keep falling behind because I think I'm going to get that. If I do this, I'll get 5 out of 5, and that's where I'm falling behind.
The diamond meme.
Right. Literally me, but with films that should not be in the top 3. Anyway, let's get into the actual top 5 from this past weekend. Starting at number 1, not shocking, Spider-Man Brand New Day continues to reign supreme, followed by Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Kind of a shocker that it's still there, but it holds off some stiff competition to remain in the top 2 spot after 5 weeks in theaters. Then The End of Oak Street, the Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor-led film, finishes 3rd. Paw Patrol the Dino Movie comes in 4th, and unbeknownst to anybody, in a shocker, Cat's Eye Wild Hearts rounds out the top 5, again finishing 5th, stealing spots away from films that we predicted would be in the top 5, like The Brink of War, etc., etc. So let's go back to the top and break down those numbers. Number 1, in its 3rd weekend in theaters, is Spider-Man Brand New Day, earning $70 million domestically and pushing its worldwide total, get this, $2 billion. Joining a supreme list of 7 other films and hitting that mark in only 17 days. This film has outgrossed the previous No Way Home by 100 days.
But it won't hit 2.1. Y'all remember last episode where we were betting it won't go over 2.1? It's not going to go over.
Did we say that?
Yeah, it was something like that. We were like, I don't know, will it cross 2 billion? We were like, yeah, it'll cross 2 billion, but it won't go over 2.1.
Well, it's already at like 2.02. And so, yeah, it's going to, there's a chance this could hit close to 2.5.
Gulp.
If it keeps, if it keeps going at this rate that it's going. This is also Sony's biggest movie of all time. So obviously Sony's biggest earner and the 4th highest domestic earner ever, according to the Daily's newsletter. So again, what can you say? We reviewed it. If you're curious what we think, we had the amazing Dylan Travis on with us, who broadcast professional in and of his own right, who loves Marvel. We all had a fantastic show. Go back a few weeks and listen to Spider-Man Brand New Day review if you're curious our thoughts. But what else is there to say? I mean, I'm shocked this is the one to do this. I would have thought it would have been the last one.
Any of them? Yeah. Any of the other ones, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think I would have predicted it. Maybe the first Homecoming. Maybe Homecoming. I don't think I would have guessed Far From Home. I would have guessed No Way Home. But this one, you know what I mean? Like this is just, I don't know. I'm surprised because this, while a great film, I don't think it's the best Spider-Man. And I think it's just, as we talked about before, it's at that cross section of perfect timing from the last one. People were hungry for it, right? Mm-hmm. Perfect build-up, great marketing. People were curious to see how Punisher would fit in, if there would be any X-Men. We're at that time, too, where we're the T-minus 6 months from Doomsday. Mm-hmm. So people are curious how that's going to build into the next one. I think it's just the perfect storm. And not that the film doesn't deserve it. It is what we said in the review, if and when you go back and watch it, it's the perfect sequel to No Way Home. It's the perfect next step in the evolution of Tom Holland's Spider. But is it the best Tom Holland Spider? Remains to be seen. I think some people say yes. I would say I think I still go No Way Home. But some people would disagree with that. Is it the best Spider-Man of all time? I do disagree with that. I still think it's Spider-Man 2 from Tobey.
Yeah.
But alas, regardless of opinion, this is the highest grossing Spider-Man film of all time.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Defoe did a new photo shoot. It leaked, and I'm trying to find photos of it, but
Of course.
the funny ones where he was like kind of
Yeah, yeah.
he had his
Weird
legs like
poses,
this,
yeah.
and he was like, I don't know. I'm trying to find the new ones. It's not like as crazy, I guess, but this one's my favorite. And Ryan can look over my shoulder now before I even
I'm not gonna
show
spoil
you
it.
guys.
I'm not gonna spoil
but
it.
I'll try and get back to StreamYard. Getting there. Bear with me.
He's bringing it in. There it is.
That's
Bro,
my favorite.
bro's just an artsy guy.
That's my favorite of all of them. There's another one that's pretty good.
Would you believe me if I told you that that was the scariest villain in all of Spider-Man history?
Dude, he was.
You know what I mean?
He put everything into that.
Yeah. The scene,
That's why he's so scary. The half smirk.
yeah,
The serious. He is committed
yeah,
to whatever. I mean, there's an emotion in those eyes, in the smirk. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to do whatever he's got his mind set on with those eyes.
right.
And then the smirk leads me to believe that he's actually confident in that he's going to accomplish his task.
Right.
So, I love Defoe and his photo shoots.
His Defoeisms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one could only hope that maybe we get, we know Toby's coming back for Doomsday.
Yeah,
I
actually,
don't think Defoe's coming back.
negatively.
Yeah,
might say.
I fear for what that might mean.
Yeah.
Defoe's done, but it will be nice to see Toby back. But we're going to talk about that later. Let's go ahead and move on down the line. Finishing second, as we said prior, is the Odyssey in its fifth weekend in theaters, earning $23.6 million domestically and $1.29 billion worldwide. For the third straight week, Nolan's latest release, his largest release, holds on to a top two spot despite a handful of worldwide releases. It's fending off some pretty stiff competition. Case in point, the one right after it, The End of Oak Street, which we'll talk about in a minute. This is Nolan's highest grossing film of all time. How much farther do we think it can get without... It's lost IMAX screens for a couple of weeks now. Do we think it's about time? My problem was I doubted Nolan, right? And I never should have. But are we at that point now with the Odyssey that we can expect it after a month and a week for it to finally start falling?
We've still got it in our top 5 in predictions.
No, of course.
Actually, arguably top 3 in both of everybody's. So, it's not going anywhere, at least next week. Maybe 5th the following week. So it could get a month and a half in the box office top 5.
I wouldn't doubt that. I guess I'm more asking, is this the time where we start to see it slowly start to fade?
Yeah.
I think so
It's gonna
too.
be dropping out.
I don't think we're going to get another shocker this next week because a lot of people were surprised that it held on to 2. I don't think we're going to have that again.
No,
I just
it
don't.
won't be 2. There's too many things coming out next weekend that take it.
I agree. We'll talk about our predictions here in a second. But again, going back to 3, another debuting film, $21 million is The End of Oak Street's earning domestically and $47 million worldwide. Despite being a pricey original for Warner Brothers, the David Robert Mitchell directed Oak Street managed to take back more than 50% of its production value in its opening weekend. So in just 3 days, it earned more than half of its $80 million production value. That's not counting the probably pretty penny that they threw at it for marketing, because I don't know why Warner Brothers decided that this was the film. A lot of people like this film, right? Like, as you see on the script, Jake, the film reportedly is inspired by and gives the Poltergeist meets Jurassic Park, right? Like, there's a lot of really fun. I've seen a lot of other places that it reminds them of like the in the 80s and the 90s where you had films like E.T., these whimsical, like kind of out there original stories that, you know, you could kind of throw like they're there that if you're a kid or if you're a young adult or even if you're a parent taking your kid, like it feels magical. Like it's something that sticks with you, it's something you'll want to revisit, but it's not like the best film that's ever been made. Like that's what people have described this as, that like it's fun, it's whimsy, it's a good time. However, it's one of those that's like, you like to see Warner throwing originals, like money at originals, but it makes you wonder why this one, because this one's so out of left field. It's not like Sinners, which has a lot of heart and not that this doesn't have heart, but a lot of culture embedded. Like that was almost more surefire at the time, even though people were surprised at how much it took off beyond that. This always kind of felt like it would be where it's at.
Yeah, I don't think this is anywhere outside of I guess it's not a surprise and it's not like a letdown.
No.
I think it's like right where you would think it would fall.
From an audience perspective,
And-
anyway.
Yeah, and I think we were probably bashing it last week a little too hard, but like
People seem to
not-
like it.
not too little.
Yeah.
Really that middle of the road kind of deal. But we were like, I don't think it's gonna do that well, and then it did okay.
Well, we had it at 2. We were bashing it just because as a concept, it seems a little silly. Like
Yeah.
the idea of like a whole street just disappearing into like Jurassic
Which
times.
I'm sure they had a reason.
Of course. But yeah, unfortunately for the film, I'll get out of opinion. I'll get back to the fact of reality. It only pulled in a B from post-track. So the film itself is reviewing okay, but for a film that's supposed to, after this type of debut, it needs legs.
Yeah.
A B from audience goers who are leaving the theater, that doesn't really bode well. That's not a B is not something that people keep coming back to. A B is not something that people tell their friends and families, you got to come see this with me. I'm going to watch it a second time.
Like Hail Mary.
Right. Hail Mary or Superman last year, or I mean, I would even say the Odyssey and Spider-Man now. Like that's not what Oak Street seems to be giving in terms of what audiences are responding with. And so unfortunately, it seems like this might be another dud for Warner Brothers in a year where they released Frankenstein or what was it? It was The Bride. They released The Bride and Supergirl, and now they've got what seems to be another. They might not be in the red, but they're not in the green, right? Like that's the big issue. And so after the year they had last year, Warner has fallen off pretty hard this year.
Yeah.
They've not had a great year.
I wonder
And-
why. Maybe there's turmoil with the parents.
Yeah, a lot of hope is going into Tom Cruise's next film with Inarritu, Digger.
Yeah.
That's the one that they're really. That one looks good. I will say that it does look. It looks really campy. It looks fun. It looks it looks like Cruise from Tropic Thunder, like that type of absurdist.
Yeah.
Not that character, but the absurdity. And I like
It
Cruise.
could still be that character from
It-
what I'm watching. And
Maybe
like it's not going to be as hardcore, I guess.
I like Cruise in that role though.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm excited to see him back in something more absurdist, instead of like his original, like his normal tough guy, Top Gun and in Mission Impossible, which he does great. But I do look forward to seeing Tom Cruise in Inarritu's next film. But that being said, the reason we're there is because End of Oak Street, the most recent Warner Brothers release, I should say, is not doing as well as they would have hoped, but is doing about as well as we would have expected. Going into number 4, Paw Patrol the Dino Movie, family-friendly kids film from Nickelodeon and from various production houses. It debuts at $20 million domestically and $68 million worldwide, which I said it beforehand. Had this had been worldwide gross, I would have been correct with Paw Patrol at 3, but alas, I picked it for what we predict is the debut, or the debut in the domestic box office, and I was alas wrong. But not by much, by less than about a million, I should say, maybe a little less than a million. But anyway, Paw Patrol, the Dino Movie, finishes 4th, and Cat's Eye Wild Hearts, a K-pop concert film, finishes 5th, debuting to $3.9 million domestically and $4.4 million worldwide. It makes you wonder if it's debuted in Korea yet,
Ooh,
because it's only earned 4.4.
do we know?
I don't know, but I'd be shocked if it did, earning that little. Because if a film about a K-pop band or a K-pop group, this earns this amount in the States on its debut, I would imagine it's a pretty big band over there. I would imagine that it's pretty big at home, and I would be shocked if it didn't hit.
Not yet.
Yeah, it hasn't hit the Korean market yet, so this film will probably end up earning closer to 15 by the time it's all said and done. But that's our top 5. Shocker in the end. Cat's Eye comes out of nowhere. Alas, no, it wasn't on any prediction market. It wasn't on any, there was no way we could have had any clue that was the thing coming out.
Do.
But with that, let's take a look at around the box office, Jake. Is there anything that catches your eye from beyond the top 5?
Oh boy, he caught me with my tabs out or tabs down. Let's see here. That was when Avatar was in. Gotta change these links, dude. 10th anniversary of Your Name, done by G Kids. Don't know what that is. Wet Hot American Summer. I'm really using the Shure microphone to its fullest ability. It's like Wet Hot American Summer.
The ASMR reading is tough.
No, there's not much. Let's go at least top 10. One Night Only. VisionQuest and Sons by Shloka Entertainments. What are we working with here? That would be was it Bollywood?
Yep, the latest and the best from Bollywood.
Top 10 though. Top 10. 350 theaters. I will say that like the more I pay attention, at least where I live in northern Kentucky, like there's a lot of people from India, at least in my complex.
Mhm.
It is like predominantly
Oh yeah.
families, just whole families in apartments. And so I was like, oh wow, maybe there is a large population, at least in cities. So
Well, and
that
the
would
thing
make
is,
sense.
there's a growing sentiment in the States as well about like foreign films. It's
Mhm.
something that like used to be kind of like a niche to like academics
Yeah.
and like just cinephiles in general. But like we talked about anime in the same vein, and I would say Bollywood's very similar. There's a lot of people that would defend Bollywood because while there's enough to make jokes about it because some of the production value has been very bad, depending. But if you're really looking for it, but you could do the same thing here in the States. A lot of people say Bollywood is energetic. It's got a lot of fun action sequences. It has its own perspective that on the action film and the genre that not a lot of people would anticipate or would even think about here in the States. So I respect Bollywood in terms of it's not afraid to take shots. Like I love the disregard for physics and some of their more
That I think makes a Bollywood action film worth watching.
right.
Is if you know it has absurdist physics.
Because it's fun. Like it's just fun. Like
Yeah.
it's not meant to be so scrutinized. It's not meant to be so for real. It's just meant look at how OP this guy is.
Yeah.
It's like he grabs a missile out of the air with his pinky or his two fingers, and it's just it's just fun like that. He flips it over and it just shoots back.
Yeah.
And it's like when you think about it,
Goated.
yeah, right. Yeah, goated if you just enjoy it for what it is. I would say that's probably why we're seeing a lot more Bollywood than we normally have because and it's not like it's as often as anime, but I think as time has gone on, we've seen more and more Bollywood, and I'm here for it because if you're here for that kind of stuff, like and especially as foreign films come flooding in, like I like the differing perspectives, and I think that's pretty cool, and so yeah, I'm here for that. Is it my cup of tea? No, but I'm sure if I really delved into it, I'm sure I could find a genre in Bollywood that I really like.
Maybe that's what we do is we try to find an action movie with the absurdist physics and we try to
review it. That'd be a lot of fun. You should let us know. If you like Bollywood, let us know
or
because
Neza too.
oh, that's Chinese, isn't it?
Yeah.
The highest grossing animated film of all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
By a
Neza
lot.
too.
By a lot.
Yeah.
It's not even a little.
Then we have to watch the first one.
Do we?
Bro. Oh, I don't know. That'd be pretty funny. It's like going into Doomsday without having seen anything else. By the way, you know what? We're gonna hold off on that. Remind me about the watch list prior to Doomsday later. Remind me about that. We'll go back. We'll get back because I don't want to forget. But we're gonna talk about Doomsday in a minute, and I don't want to get too off topic.
You had to have started watching 2 weeks ago.
Right?
I think that's what it was.
The biggest thing, and I want we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole.
We'll get to it.
Toy Story 5 and One Night Only, 2 top 5 finishers last week, dropping down to 8th and 9th. Toy Story 5 finally dropping more than 30-something%, 42% this week, earning $2.4 million. The film was still $1 billion earning movie for Pixar. So it's not like they're struggling in the mean. Like they're $1.1 billion in the box office. That is a fantastic finish for one of Pixar's if not the greatest franchise that they've ever created. There probably will be a Toy Story 6 if I had to guess. They're probably going to keep going until at least one
got to kill Woody.
At least one of their characters dies or one of their actors dies. Maybe. Either way, we're not too far off.
Buzz or Woody?
We're not too far off from either of those being the case.
Hudson.
I would probably say. Okay, come on. Tim Allen does not look as good as Tom Hanks. We'll gotta be real for real.
Fair.
Tim Allen's looking a little old, and Tom Hanks looks old, but he looks a little younger than
because he was doing those
Tim
rituals on a certain island.
We're gonna move on because there's a lot of discrepancies in that.
That's how he stays young.
Anyway, predictions. Predictions.
Moving on, I guess.
Tell me a little bit about your top 5 and why, Jake. So this is every week that you come back, you're going to hear our predictions. Going to predict the top 5 for the upcoming weekend. We're going to tell you why. So go ahead, Jake.
My predictions. I got Spider-Man at 1. Kind of hard to take Spider-Man off the top. It's in its run. And then we've got a newcomer is Insidious. So I've got that at 2. I think that's going to do better than some of the other ones that have been in there for a while. And believe it or not, I got Paw Patrol and the Odyssey dropping below that. So at 3, I've got the Odyssey. I think it's been in like you said, I think it's in its 5th week. It's going to be in its 6th. It's going to drop from 20 million probably to mid to low teens. And then Paw Patrol debuted at 20. I don't think it's going to. I don't know. It's Paw Patrol. It's not like a Toy Story 5. That would be what I'm attributing it to. It's a TV movie, technically. So I've got it at 4. And then there's also a new debut as well with my 5 is Mutiny. It is a Statham movie. And I'm just going to leave it at that. If you watch one Statham movie, you kind of know all of the Statham movies. So he's a beekeeper. He's a lighthouse keeper. He's now...
This is what I will say about Beekeeper. The one thing I'll say, the one little notch I will put against your claim
You
is
like the world.
Beekeeper was so good.
You like the world building in Beekeeper.
It was so not Statham.
Yeah.
It was so everything else.
Yeah.
But Beekeeper was actually really cool. Like, I like the idea of what they were trying to implement there with the keepers. But anyway.
So now I don't believe him to be a ship worker, but he does kind of sneak onto a ship and is a stowaway. And he uncovers like an international mystery or conspiracy. So it's titled Mutiny. So he's a beekeeper, he was a lighthouse keeper, and now he's a stowaway and or mutiner.
Mutiny? I don't know.
Right?
He commits mutiny.
Yeah, which I thought there was a word for that in pirate language, but scallywag. So that's my top 5. Spider-Man, Insidious, The Odyssey, Paw Patrol, and Mutiny.
Yeah. So I'm right there with Jake for a lot of this. Spider-Man, Insidious, The Odyssey, 1 through 3. Just because, and even, I mean, we even have Paw Patrol at 4. It just makes sense, right? Like, it's one of those weeks where it's not hard to slide things down and to throw. So for me, Insidious always does well. This is the end of that franchise. Out of the Further is the name of the film coming out. The Google, just quickly when you look it up, according to Google, the synopsis is, quote, Gemma, or is it, I think it is Gemma. Gemma. I'm going to say Gemma. Is a young mother who discovers she can travel into the Further, a purgatorial realm of lost souls. When something evil comes after her, she realizes she can bring what lives there back to the real world. Once the demons realize her power, our world becomes their playground.
Great.
Good
job, Gemma.
James 1. I will be of this thought, and this is how I've always felt about the Insidious franchise, and just James 1 as a producer. He really, really works hard to milk everything he has for as much as he has.
Well, wouldn't you?
Insidious, The Conjuring. Oh, I mean, like, if I had it, sure. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, it feels like every time we get to a new, like, it's like, okay, cool original, decent sequel. We should have rounded this out by now when you get to the 3rd. And then you're like 4th, 5th, spin-off, 7th.
Do I hear Scream movies?
I would say Scream is a little different because it's intentionally meta.
Fast and Furious?
Yeah, more like Fast and Furious. But I would even defend this before Fast and Furious. Toy Story continuously puts out movies that are at least worth watching. Fast and Furious, I know Nolan defends those, but they lost the.
I didn't know that.
Nolan's a big Fast and Furious guy.
That's so funny.
I know.
I think once you bring John Cena into any of your sequels, it's over.
I
like John Cena in like original stuff. As soon as you bring him in,
yeah, I really think we lost the plot a long time ago. We've talked about that on the show so many times, so we're gonna move on from that. But I would say Insidious is somewhere between Toy Story and Fast and Furious, but it's closer to Fast and Furious, right? Like, it's like we've seen this enough. Like do something different.
I've not.
We do something. I just want to see something like, I'm tired of the name Insidious. Like I'm tired of seeing the same thing in this franchise. I love a good ghost story, but this is the 6th Insidious. There are 6 of them. Or no, is it the 6th one? Let me double check. This is
just in. Ryan can't count.
Yeah, it is 6.
Oh, you can guess.
Yeah. Why are there 6 Insidiouses? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know. I just wanted to double check myself there really quickly. From 2010 until now, there have been 6 of these. And it's just, I don't know. I think it should have ended after chapter 3. I don't think The Last Key was very good. Didn't really watch much of The Red Door. At least I don't remember that one. But anyway, it's one of those where they're just going to make as much money. And the thing is, we have it at number 2 because it's going to do well. Anywho, that's why they keep making them. Third is the Odyssey. Fourth is Paw Patrol. And fifth, I have the End of Oak Street. I think that it's just going to hang on. I don't think Jason Statham's going to earn more than $10 million, like you said. Even though Oak Street might have a tendency to tank, even if it tanks 50%, it's not. I don't see a reality, and take me for a grain of salt because I am last, but I don't see a reality where End of Oak Street drops like a horror movie, which is like 60, right? I don't think it will do that. I think it will stick to that 45, 50-ish range, which is probably pretty healthy for what it is. At least like probably, I should say, pretty accurate for what the movie is. And even if it does that, I don't think it will drop further than what Mutiny will debut to. With that,
so I will give. I'll go off of that as Mutiny. Is a Statham movie. So this last Statham movie was The Lighthouse Guy. It debuted to what 5.5.
Yeah.
5.5. Not very. I didn't see a lot of push on it. And then you've got The Beekeeper was second to last. That got 15 when it came out. I'm not seeing as much of a push as Beekeeper got, and so Mutiny I'm thinking is like somewhere between that 5.5 and 10, which is why I think it's going to take the End of Oak Street. I think it'll tank.
This is
my 5.
why this is something that I like to do with a Statham movie. Anytime another Statham comes out, and we've said it on the show before, so this is for those who are new. It's so much funnier to imagine if it's just the same guy.
Yeah.
It's like every time he like runs away to find a new life, like he does, like he runs away.
He was a beekeeper. Now he's a lighthouse.
And he's like, well, I need to go undercover now because even though the government might not be after me anymore, I still don't want people coming after me. So I'm gonna go undercover as this construction worker. Oh my gosh, my boss's daughter got kidnapped, and now I gotta save him.
And he's a working man.
And so he saves, and then he turns around and he's in a lighthouse. Something else happened. Now he's on a boat. Yeah. I just think that's the funniest thing is just because it's all Jason Statham. He acts the same way in everyone. Yeah. It's so much funnier if you imagine. It's so much funnier if you imagine it's all one franchise and it's just one guy who just cannot get out of trouble.
And now his boss is dead and he's been framed for it.
Yeah. Because of course he has. And then eventually the beekeepers will come back looking for him, and then we'll be right back to where we started.
Great.
Yeah.
So of the other ones that are coming out, that I keep cutting Ryan off for Claude, but Anthony Bourdain's biography called Tony, that's coming out. I do think that will be good, but I don't know if it'll be able to take 5 or 4. There is Spa Weekend, which is like a comedy. I wouldn't say it's a rom-com because I think it's centered on like 4 girls. It's kind of like their what am I looking for here? It's not Hot Tub Time Machine. It's the other one where they're all crazy drunk in Las Vegas.
Oh, The Hangover.
The Hangover. I think that's like it's trying to be a hangover movie. And then what else was it, Ryan? Help me out. Mutiny, Hotspot, and then what is it? See, this is why I don't use Box Office Mojo because it's missing one that the numbers said was coming out.
So we're talking about It Ends, right?
It ends.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that one because it was interesting. It was it's kind of like a thriller where a group of friends get together for like the last time before they go to college, classic, and they're in a car, and I think they turn down a 2-lane road that's like never ending, and it's somewhat I don't know. How would you describe that? What word?
It's like a thriller.
Yeah.
Like
a thriller, but like when you supernatural, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. It's like supernatural.
Like a purgatory loop.
Yeah, it's never ending, and there's like, I don't know, not cryptids, but like monsters and things like that. They have to like.
See, that sounds interesting.
It is. It's very interesting, but like nowhere near top 5.
No.
Worthy. So I just want to let y'all know the stuff that's coming out, and I think that It Ends, and definitely Mutiny. Go watch that one. Hotspot's about AI overlords and how the private eye who's investigating a murder in the future stumbles upon a group of people who can take down the AI overlords, which I think that's all over the place. But
yeah, crazy log line.
So getting into TJ's prediction, believe it or not, it didn't go crazy on this week.
Of course it didn't.
So we've got TJ at Spider-Man at 1, Insidious at 2, The Odyssey at 3, Paw Patrol at 4, and The End of Oak Street at 5, which is Ryan's 5.
Because of course it did. It knows. Yeah. It knows. It's learned that it's in a competition, and it's just like copy because it knows it's ahead.
So, which makes me nervous, obviously, because I tend to choose the oddball top or the fifth place, but who knows? I mean, sometimes not really. It pays off. But that's our predictions and Claude's. We'll see.
Yeah. And with that, we'll go ahead and end our first segment. So, coming up after the break, we're going to talk about D23. We have a lot of news to break through. We're going to talk about what excites us and so much more. So, stick around. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You've made it to segment 2, which is always our major news segment. So today, again, we're talking about D23, right? The biggest and the best from Disney. They have their big panels. They take over an exhibit hall, and they release the best of the very best of their upcoming slate, right? Trying to get people hyped for Pixar, Marvel, and all things Disney. So let's start with the biggest that everyone's been talking about, okay? X-Men casting. We knew Sadie Sink was Jean Grey. Kit Connors officially confirmed as Scott Summers. Christopher Abbott revealed to be Professor Charles Xavier. Samara Weaving confirmed as Emma Frost. And Indy Navarrete of Obsession fame as Rogue. With rounding out our cast, we have Maya Boyd as Storm, which shocked a lot of people because there was another casting that was originally done. A lot of people seem to think that Ryan Gosling has a lot of pull with this character Storm because supposedly she's going to be in the upcoming Black Panther film. Took kind of a turn casting Boyd as the character, but of course, the biggest news in the biggest debate comes with Navarrete as Rogue. What do you think?
I think people are very excited for that casting, regardless of whether or not she is going to do well or do bad. I think they just think that she's attractive, and there's been a lot of, I think a lot of buzz around Rogue as a character, and I at least get a lot on my For You page of just like the comics and the animated series Rogues. I believe it's all connected, and the hype is around this reveal or this casting and like who people would like, and it's got to be, and people are just posting the animated series a whole lot more. So I think people are halfway excited for that casting. I did hear a lot of people who, so I looked up Christopher Abbott to get you guys your Professor X casting. That is him with hair. This is him without hair. People are saying he is too young.
I think Hollywood magic. It's just as simple as that. I think that once you put him in the makeup, and I think once you actually get him in the suit, I think he'll do great. I think he'll be fine. I think he looks like Professor X. Like, I think that's kind of the biggest thing. And the thing is, I feel like for that role, with it as pivotal as it is, you have to cast younger because you want it to last over the course of the franchise, right? So I'm not mad about it. I think that you can make him look a little bit older. I think you can say he's older, and I think at some point people will buy it if his performance is good, regardless of how, even if they don't touch him up a little bit. If he looks like that, I think people say, oh, okay, he's 45. You know, like he's been doing it for 20 years. Like, sure. Yeah. And then, because again, if his performance, if he acts the age, I think people will buy into it a little bit more. But I do want to go back to Rogue for a second, because I've seen a lot of negative discourse actually about Indy, mainly because I think she's too popular. Because remember, not long ago, everyone was like, oh, I love Indy. I can't wait for her to be in Marvel, because she had called her own shot, which was the best part about, like, for me, this is the best part about this casting is she said she wanted to, and she did. She's living the American dream. She paid her dues. She had to stream on Twitch in order to make ends meet to be an actress, right? Does her thing, gets cast in a film with a $750,000 budget, not knowing it was going to blow up like it did, not knowing her character was going to be the reason that the film was as big as it was, right? It does. She pays her dues. She keeps her head down. She stays out of trouble. She says, I would love to do this. And she gets cast. I think that's fantastic. And the thing is, there are a lot of online, like they've done the whole edited her into like a rogue costume. And I think she looks great. I think she looks like the character. I think that, like, I genuinely can believe what a lot of people were pointing out as like a negative is that she's really short. She is like, there's a picture of her standing next to her castmates, and she is very tiny. She's like 5 foot. And so it really doesn't help if that's what you're pointing out, because I understand she's not that intimidating. But Rogue as a character not only can take care of herself, her power is, I mean, it's OP. She can steal other people's powers. So it doesn't matter how big she is in my mind, right? Like I understand in the comics she's a taller woman. Like she's not tall, but she's not short, right? I understand even in X-Men 97, she's not short. I get it. I get it.
Bald guy up there for.
Oh no, it's okay.
That's my bad.
No, it's okay. I completely understand. But for me, when I see her as the character, when I think of what she can do on screen, because she was amazing in Obsession, the whole point, her face is her biggest thing, right? Like she can, I call it rubber face. She can portray those emotions. Think about in Obsession, right?
Yeah.
The way she was able to contort her face, and you could tell when she was possessed and when she wasn't. That is her best feature. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people wanted her as Mystique.
That would have been good too.
That would have been good, but why when a person as talented as that who can morph their face into whatever role that you want them to, why would you put them behind makeup? You know, why would you bury their face in blue makeup? I just think that defeats the whole purpose. I saw that point somewhere, and I think that absolutely fit perfectly, right? I think she's going to kill it. Someone else I was reading online was like, they hope that it's a... I think she looks like Rogue. I think she is Rogue. For our visual watchers, there's a cosplay of her as Rogue online.
Which is either photoshopped or AI.
It's-
I was trying to find one that wasn't like Gooner bait.
Right.
For the older audiences, basically just her extremities.
As attractive as possible
Yeah,
is what you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
I think she fits the character really well. I think that she's going to absolutely nail it. And regardless of which version, because there was also this debate of like there's a goth version of Rogue and then there's a Southern version. I don't care.
No.
Like I would love to see the Southern because that's an interesting dynamic with Gambit.
Yep.
However, I just like the casting. I think that it's fit. And I just wanted to go at that one in particular because there's a lot of discourse about it. I think Kit Connors we talked about. I think he's young. He's got the star power. They're actually going to do well with Scott Summers and as the leader of the X-Men, which I'm really excited about. Samara Weaving, as she is in her mid-30s, and a lot of people point that out as being a little bit older than the rest of her cast, like the rest of what the castmates look like. A lot of people think that they're going to go into an older Emma Frost, and after she has kind of fallen out, because in the comics, Emma Frost loses her students, like they die. Yeah. And she cannot get over that, and she turns to Magneto. And that's how she falls out of the X-Men. I wonder if we're going to get something like that.
Probably. This is, I would assume that is more of a Emma Frost-esque.
If you look at the character and just look at Samara Weaving, yeah, they're the same person. I think that everything they've done is fantastic. I think every casting they've done. I mean, Christopher Abbott is the only one that I look at, and like we had talked about before, because he's a little bit young. But again, I genuinely believe you have to cast young for that reason to stick around. And I think that at some point we're just going to forget he's that young. Yeah. We're just going to buy in.
And I say that is a good example. Like that's a comic book cover for.
Yeah, she just is Emma Frost. Yeah. Like she just is.
And then for Maya Boyd. This is who Maya Boyd is, or if you know her face, as Storm. I think she'll do
again. Yeah,
at least in terms of looks. We'll see. I've not. Do you know what she's?
That's what I was about to say. She has actually not a bad. So she comes from theater. That's what I was gonna say. Her background comes from theater, which is why I'm so high on it. Is because again, like if you know me, if you listen to the show, I love British television. I love British media. I would say the British have the best pool talent of actors in the world, and that's because most of them go through the West End. And so I'm here for the theatrical. Give me the stage actors, and give them a script and see what they can do. I think they can do great. A lot of times you see it kind of flipped, where like you'll see someone hit big on like a movie or TV, and then kind of lose their fame, and then go to Broadway. Yeah, I love that we're flipping it here. But yeah, I think she's going to do fantastic. I don't think there's a bad casting. I really think that we have a fantastic casting crew here. Going back, James McAvoy looked young when he was Professor X. I know that was meant to be a younger version of the character, but like, I just feel like people are so picky.
I just have to show Kit Connors again, or Kit Connor.
Yeah,
Scott Summers. Like Ryan said, not bad.
That just is Scott Summers. Yeah. Like that just.
That'd do great. So we've got a pretty stacked cast. It's I think at the end of the day, it really matters on director and script at this point. I think that we've got the looks, we've got I think the talent, Can they put it to good use in the next X-Men and or Doomsday?
We'll see. I look forward. I think Sadie Sink already proved herself as a fantastic Jean Grey, regardless of if her character is. Again, we talked about it during Spider-Man. If you could forgive her for the things she's done, because she was a villain, like in the most traditional sense, she was pretty evil. But again, she was absolutely fantastic as Jean Grey, and I look forward. And going, but just again, the Kit Connor and Sadie Sink, that that both of them as just talents will do so well together. So that's going to make that relationship so much more interesting. Not that James Marsden and I'm blanking on her name right now, but Jansen. Not that those two weren't absolutely perfect together. Like, they were fine. You could feel that love triangle brewing with those three. They were such good talents with Logan, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. But I look forward to this as a new generation, and I think that'll be absolutely fantastic. But going down the line a little bit, let's get on to the rest of D3. We have a new Doomsday trailer. And Jake, I know you saw it. I watched a little bit of it beforehand, or I watched the full thing beforehand, I should say. And Doomsday is coming. And something that really fascinated me with it, in the history, in the zeitgeist of comic books, the history has always been that the Fantastic Four knew Victor Von Doom personally.
Mm-hmm.
There was no hint of that in the
They don't
Fantastic
know
Four
who he is.
movie.
Yeah.
However, how does this trailer start? Sue Storm describing I knew Victor, describing that relationship. And I felt that was fascinating, because now we have this kind of predetermined history that we've not yet seen. And it does make you wonder, again, the rumor is, and especially with the end of the trailer, this rumor I think is proven correct to some extent. You have what sounds like RDJ with an accent, but it could not be. They could be throwing what we talked about beforehand. They could be throwing a curveball at us. You hear Victor Von Doom saying, "You all have lived stolen lives. Now it's time to give them back."
Yeah.
I love the concept that when Steve Rogers went back to all these other universes and returned their stones, and then went back to Peggy and lived the rest of his life, that caused a certain chain of events that you could not reverse. That instead of that person becoming Tony Stark, they became Victor Von Doom. And a lot of it comes to, because Steve never came back, the Starks fell out of power and they were pushed away to Latveria. And that's how Tony became Doom, because they changed their name to Hyde. And that's how he had the Latverian accent, because Latveria exists in that universe that was created. And so in every other universe, it was meant to be like Tony. Yeah. In this universe, it became Doom. And now Doom became the most powerful being in all of existence, because he's bitter about the life he lost.
I saw something where Steve didn't go back to his world. He was, I believe, him, definitely him, but maybe not Peggy, were taken to 812 by Loki to live out their days. And that was the issue with 812 and where Doom comes from.
Yeah.
And in that world, Steve wasn't there. But because Steve is now there, that world's kind of falling apart, which is the catalyst, I think. It all comes back to being Steve's fault. Being selfish.
Because it's tough, because that was his forever after, and it's gone, right? And so I'm fascinated to see how they would continue. There's also another theory about the character of Steve. That's not actually, it is Steve, but that's not Captain America. That's another version of Steve Rogers, which I find fascinating. Something else that's interesting to point out too in Doomsday, specifically from Marvel, they talk about Peggy will be back.
Yeah.
Haley Atwell, returning. Do we think she's returning as her version that we saw in Doctor Strange, where she's actually going to pick up the shield? Or is this just going to be Peggy?
I would say
the damsel in distress Peggy.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's going to be Captain.
You think, Captain Peggy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Captain Carter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I do think...
I think so. I think that's what it'll be.
Just because of everything that's going on, with the many multiversal battles, you have to think, but it will be fascinating to see how Haley Atwell, in what capacity she returns. I was going to say something about this earlier, and I told you to remind me. Oh, the watch order.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Marvel released a pretty comprehensive list of films you have to watch before, and series you have to watch before you watch this film. At least what you should do in order to stay up to date, okay? Let me look up Doomsday watch list.
I read somewhere that to catch up by the time Doomsday came out, which is very soon. I mean, you've got to put in some time. You've got to put in like, what was it, 60 plus hours
Yeah.
of watch time, because you got to do TV shows and movies. And they were saying that like if you watch 3 hours a day from now until it came out, you could do it. And that was probably 2 weeks ago.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing though, is that like we're not talking about the full thing, but what they released is so much. I'm trying to find a confirmed, because I have one from Reddit, but I want to make sure that I can
because to understand
Here we go.
Doomsday, you have to almost understand the entirety of both X-Men and the entire
Yes.
Infinity War.
It goes so back beyond
Yeah.
the beginning of the MCU. So for those who are, buckle up. If you haven't heard and you
Get your
want,
notepad.
get your notepad. If you're ready, here we go. This is Marvel's official list of things you should watch in order to be caught up before Doomsday. After, I'm pretty sure the Russo said, we're making this so anyone can watch. I'm pretty sure I remember that. I'm not crazy. We got to look that up to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I remember that being a thing. No longer, Marvel says, okay, to be caught up, here's what you have to have watched. X-Men.
Mm.
The original
Yep.
from
original.
Fox.
Yep.
X2.
Mhm.
The original sequel. Captain America, the first Avengers. Or the first Avengers, sorry. The Avengers. Avengers Infinity War. So you could just skip Ultron.
And all the Iron Mans.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Infinity War, Endgame. The Loki series, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So the first Black Panther is gone.
You don't even have to watch any of the other Spider-Mans.
No, just No Way Home. Brave New World, which I feel like is a way to try to get more viewership on their latest Captain America, because like it didn't do so well.
Jeez.
Deadpool, Wolverine, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thunderbolts, and
That's a typo.
the Fantastic Four. Where?
Captain America Brave New World.
Pretty sure that's what it's called.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's not Brand New Day. Sorry.
No,
Getting
you're good.
confused.
The latest Captain America,
Jesus, yeah.
Deadpool, Wolverine. And the thing is, the biggest thing about all these, I think Shang-Chi is on there because they're trying to make sure people remember who
Yeah,
he
Shang-Chi's
is.
going to be in Doomsday.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to play a role.
We've not seen him for 5 years, so you should probably go back and
You need
rewatch
to
the
be
one thing he's in.
reminded what his powers are.
Yeah,
and what he fights for.
I think the X-Men is just to try to remind you about those characters that are in there, because again, a lot of these younger people who have only been watching the MCU might not even remember
Yeah.
some of these older characters or these older actors like Ian McKellen or Charles or Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. First Avenger might just, again, simply like think about the youngest of the young, right? If you're 14 years old, you're not going to remember. You were 7 if you're 14 years old, right?
I guess Bucky's a side character now because we see him, spoilers, die in the third movie that they say to watch. And then he shows up in
Thunderbolts.
War
In Infinity War. Yeah.
and Endgame. And then
You skip Civil War where they can completely explain how he's back. Yeah, right.
Right. And then, well, not
Well, the
Civil War.
second one,
It's
the second
the-
Captain America, but then
yeah.
Civil War is explaining why they,
Yep.
like how Tony's parents and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Where'd Shield go?
Both of those,
Don't
yeah.
know where Shield went.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson. None of the. You don't have Captain Marvel anywhere, right?
Yeah. No. But I had read somewhere else that said the Marvels was a must watch. The Marvels.
Yeah, like the both America.
Yeah.
and Danvers.
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
Or the TV show. Was it a TV show?
It was a show, I
Show.
think. I think it was a show. But yeah. Here's the thing.
Definitive. That's from IGN, but that is technically the definitive.
I would trust IGN over Reddit.
Yeah.
That's the
Actually,
definitive
I would
list.
not. I would listen to Reddit's list.
That is definitive over.
Those
well,
guys are more diehard.
I guess that's true. That's the definitive list from Marvel themselves. Just watch. Like I feel like at this point, if you're like trying to get caught up and you're like, how do I speed run?
Spark Notes.
There's Spark Notes. There's no speed running the MCU. I'm
No.
sorry. Just watch them. Okay. I'm sorry that you just got into it and you're worried about Doomsday. I will tell you, Spider-Man did ignite my interest in this a little bit. Like, I'm fascinated to see what goes on with Doomsday. However,
Problem is I haven't seen like the Marvels, or I didn't watch any of the Eternals. I haven't watched.
I didn't. Well, so the Eternals, I would say they've retconned
Yeah,
that
they've
essentially.
reckoned it's not a thing anymore.
I would say if you have caught up, if you've watched it, like for me, I stopped really watching after Endgame, right? Like I watched.
I saw
I,
Loki.
I watched Falcon and the Winter
I
Soldier.
watched that.
I watched Loki. I watched WandaVision. I didn't.
watched that.
I didn't watch Agatha all along. I did not
I
watch
did
that
not
one.
watch that.
But I would like what I would say is if you're that far along, like if you're like us who stopped after Endgame, which I would say a lot of people are, I'd probably watch Loki again.
The was it Hawkeye? I watched Hawkeye.
Oh yeah. I did watch Hawkeye too. I'd watch Loki again. I don't think you have to watch Hawkeye. I think it's pretty inconsequential to the story. I would probably rewatch Shang-Chi, but I like Shang-Chi, so like I have no problem with rewatching that one. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Awkwafina's so funny. I thought her character was so funny in that movie, but
There's many people who don't agree.
I thought she was hilarious. But I would go back. I'd watch Shang-Chi. I'd watch Loki. Let's go back to that list. Hold on. Let's go back to that list. If you're really going back to all the way to watch like the X-Men and the first Captain America, just watch them all.
Well, what's funny is like, I'm not gonna say that everybody, but like there will be some people who will watch X-Men and expect those same actors and those same people to be in Doomsday, and it's gonna be like, wait a minute, that's Jean Grey. And
Yeah.
like I think that might be a small hurdle. It's not gonna be hard to get over and just be like, oh, that's what Jean Grey looks like now, because that's kind of what you have to do with there's another movie that did that in this. Just recasting people.
I would say, okay, if you're wanting to watch and understand the whole entirety of like the multiverse, I would say Infinity War, Endgame, Loki, No Way Home, Deadpool and Wolverine, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Dude, none of the Thor movies.
No Thor. I would say after that six series and shows, I would say if you had time for one more, probably Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that might tell you something. Yeah.
I would say of the 15 they have here, if you're where we are, like
your top 5. Yeah.
I would say, I have 6 that I listed, but 5, 5 major ones, and I would add one more to the Fantastic Four, just because they're the ones who introduced, like they're the newest one, they're the ones who's going to introduce some more concepts, and their introduction into the rest of the MCU is probably going to be very consequential to the rest of the story. But I would say genuinely, Infinity War, Endgame, Loki, Shang-Chi, Deadpool, Wolverine, Doctor Strange. It was 6. Those 6, and if you can fit in a 7th, I would then do Fantastic Four.
I would probably take the pessimistic route and say it is not worth your time, and I would not go see Doomsday. Sorry. I would legitimately, if you want to get into the MCU and you don't care about going and seeing Doomsday in theaters, which I think is small potatoes, I would genuinely stop at Endgame if you were going to watch any MCU.
What an awful time to try to get into the MCU too.
Oh,
like the biggest event in almost a decade, and now like Marvel should have released this like 6 months ago. But the thing is, they didn't have the hype of Spider-Man to do that.
Right.
That's why they're doing it now. But it genuinely is like why am I just now? Say if I'm a new fan, it's like why am I just now being told I have to watch 60 hours of content?
Because they stumbled over.
Yeah.
After Endgame, every piece of content that came out, it felt like they could take a step forward and then took 2 steps back with the next project, whether it was a TV show or a movie. I think if they kind of stayed away from the TV shows, it might be a little bit more digestible.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it's all on Disney Plus, but I got to hop around and then binge watch a series and then have 3 hours of my time here.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that's what kind of makes it difficult to get into, as well as the quantity of media that you still have to consume.
I agree.
So,
I agree. That's what's always been the problem, though. And what's annoying is that I swear I remember them saying like, oh yeah, by the way, you won't have to watch as much. Like anyone can watch this. And then they give you a 15 movie and show watch list. Yeah.
30-hour buy-in.
I swear I remember the Russos saying that. Maybe I made it up, but I swear I remember seeing that and it was like a con or something, like a year ago when they were talking to an audience at a panel.
Well, that was also before they said they were going to re-release Endgame.
Right, with more footage that connects everything.
Yeah.
Again, I am excited to see where this goes just after Spider-Man being as well as it was, as done as well as it was.
Yeah.
But I am like, there are things about this that I don't like, is what I'll say. But let's go ahead and move on, because there is something I'm very interested in talking about. VisionQuest, that trailer, for those who haven't seen, Here's the synopsis from the MCU, from Marvel themselves. Quote, VisionQuest stars Paul Bettany and James Spader. Yes, James Spader, who is revealed in the first trailer and poster for the upcoming Marvel TV series, which will debut October 14th. Blah, blah. The series follows a rebooted Vision, Bettany, as he searches for new meaning, consulting with the AI personas embedded in his programming, including Spader's Ultron, and crossing paths with a mysterious boy named Thomas Shepard. So if you're curious, Thomas Shepard seems to be his son. His son.
Interesting.
What I've loved about this is you have Vision just trying to like understand who he was, and he has a line in there. He's like, I only share his name. Because the Vision that we saw, the muted Vision that was rebuilt at the end of WandaVision, that escaped, fought the Wanda version of Vision that she made up, and then left.
Yep.
He has no recollection of his life as Vision, is from what it seems to be. He has no connection to his own past, but he knows he shares the name. And so built within his psyche, I find this fascinating because the idea of Ultron, who's the ultimate, like, not only is he a sadist and he wants to commit mass genocide against the human race, but he's also the ultimate survivalist, right? Like Ultron, even in the comics, there was never a way, if there was any speck of technology that he can upload his brain into, he was doing it.
Yeah.
Like he was going to find a way to survive. How fascinating that in his death, he potentially uploaded himself into Vision.
Yep.
To where he could survive later. Here it is, right? In a Vision that is not suppressed, but in a Vision that is vulnerable, Ultron reappears.
And who better to worry the audience other than Spader himself?
Oh, he's so good.
The Lizard King. I
really think Ultron is one of the most underrated villains just because he's
cool.
He's cool, but he was the Thanos in terms of mindset before Thanos, right? Like, bless you. He's trying not.
Because I have two hot mics in the room and I can only mute one of them.
Bro went to step and he saw a bomb and he lifted his foot and turned and he saw another bomb. That's what happened. He said, "Oh," so he stood still. No, he's dying over here while he's doing that.
I'm a kitten in a bomb factory.
Yeah. This is what I'm gonna say. Again, going back, Ultron not made more sense, but his definition of he was programmed to save humanity.
Yep. What better way than to send them to the sky cloud?
Right. In his mind, Ultron said humanity can't be saved, so we might as well restart.
Yeah.
Which is like from an AI, from a bot that's just from zeros and ones.
When that movie came out, that wasn't necessarily an issue.
No. But from a technology, let's think about it from a computer. That was what it was pulling from. It wasn't an AI, it was a computer. But from a computer, it's going to pick the most.
2015.
Yeah.
We weren't worried about
No. But it's going to pick, but like a computer is going to pick the highest probability of success. It's going to pick the most optimal route possible. If you say save humanity, and the best way to save humanity is to restart in order to program whatever, the computer would choose that. And that's what makes it interesting. And that, if you remember the whole conversation between Vision and Ultron at the end of Age of Ultron, was they're doomed. And Vision making the point they are, but that's the beauty, is that they don't last forever.
Yeah.
And that's their biggest difference. And Ultron says, "You're so naive." And he says, "Well, I was born yesterday." And then the conversation ends and Ultron dies. I think Ultron as a villain is so much more scary because he's got all the power, right? Yeah. And he's, again, the ultimate survivalist. Thanos is terrifying, but his ultimate downfall is that his logic is flawed. Yeah. Right? Whereas
because in Spider-Man they tear it down in the first few scenes.
Right.
Why didn't he just double the food?
And you know what's funny? I don't think anyone thought about that. Like even the fans, they were like, "Oh." Because there was a debate for a really long time that Thanos was like, "Oh, he makes sense." But then when you add that he could make anything. Yeah. He just didn't.
No. More space, more houses, more food.
But with Ultron, it's like that would make sense from a computer standpoint if you told the computer to solve a problem. Sometimes it's just going to delete everything. Yeah. So I like that in terms of a villain that like I can see where it went. I don't agree with it and it's not right, but I'm like, you know what? A computer would do that.
So do we think that Spader's Ultron in this is this a show or
it's a show? It's a show. It's the end of a trilogy.
Yeah.
In terms of you got WandaVision, Agatha, and now this.
They're gonna have a big bad, so I would assume the easy route is Ultron here. it may not ever become, I guess, physical threat, but it might just be like he gets close to, I guess,
Yeah.
becoming an issue again, and then Vision puts a stop to him. I would say it's not like a Jean Grey freezes
Right.
2 miles of New York or anything like physical threat. I think that it's just going to be a proposition
Yeah, 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 yeah.
of a threat that like Ultron could potentially break out of Vision's, I guess, psyche.
Yeah, yeah.
If he's,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if because in the trailer we see like Ultron as his robot self, and then Vision's like, "What do I say about
Human.
non-humanoid
Yeah.
presentation?" And he turns into like old man Spader with a big beard. He looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah. Very like as a human persona.
Yeah,
And the thing is too is Ultron's like, I am your dad. Like he calls him, he's like, oh, like I'm Papa. Like I made you.
And then apparently Thomas Shepard being the grandson.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's gonna be an interesting take if we see that dynamic.
I'm so here for more Ultron, and I love the idea of him trying to find, like, because like think about if Thomas isn't real.
You think that they'll have an issue?
Oh yeah.
With Ultron trying to teach Thomas some.
I think I would even go farther to say Thomas probably isn't real. Ultron's putting that in his head so he can get him in a vulnerable state so that he could overtake the Vision body and recreate himself. That's what I think is probably happening.
As intended, because
Yes.
he's supposed to get a body like that.
Yeah. Vision was supposed to be what Ultron became.
Yeah.
But alas, Jarvis, right? That didn't happen. So I think that that's probably what, like, this is in Ultron's mind, him sticking around in this persona and him seeing Vision like vulnerable. This is like the prodigal son returns is Ultron, and he's trying to figure out a way. Mazel tov, you have a son now. Be distracted. And also something else too that's fascinating is like what I love about the parallel of the trilogy idea. Vision in his own head is creating a reality very similarly to what Wanda did, but in reality.
Yes.
Creating the ideal surroundings, right? Like surrounding yourself with people that you feel like you can talk to. Because when he shuts down, we saw it. When he shuts down in his little back closet, he's able to go into his head. Everyone's able to wear the humanoid presentation. And yeah, I think this will be, of all the series they've released, I think this one will be probably one of the better ones. I'm really excited for VisionQuest.
Very interesting.
I didn't think that until after I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay,
what could this be about?
This is really good. Yeah. Like this like I'm hooked. The second I saw Spader in Ultron, I was like, I'm in. I'm in. I'm bought. So we'll go ahead and move on very quickly because we have a little bit more to talk about, and we are running over on time. Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy talk Starfighter with first appearances. They showed up on stage. They showed a sneak peek to our audience, as well as talked a little bit more about the series. To be honest, there's not a lot to talk about here. No. Mainly because it's just like more of what they did.
I saw a little trailer.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks fun. But again, this feels a lot like just the next step in the same thing they did not long ago at the San Diego Comic-Con.
The lines that they showed in the trailer or the sneak peek was they're a little cheesy, so it kind of put me on edge. I was like, you better not be corny.
Yeah.
This movie better not be corny, but they did have Gosling say something cheesy, and they went with that in the trailer, which doesn't scream.
It could be a matter of they're trying to disarm people, so they're like, here's the worst of it, so watch, because there's better. But it could also be, oh, God, I hope that they think this is funny because it's the best we got.
Yeah, and I thought it was just like, it's a cliche and a corny line because the kid like finds his spaceship or something.
Yeah,
and he says like what you would like, I don't know, not Han Solo, but any character in that, not dad but role model, but has to deal with a kid. And we always said from the beginning this movie was a cliche. And
yeah.
And so they did leave a line in there that was exactly what you would expect them to say, which turns me off because it's like, I like a good movie that does something that I don't expect, or at the very least captivates me throughout. And if I think it's corny and cheesy, that's, I don't know. It just seems like poorly written or AI written.
I was hoping that we would get like a more grungy.
Yeah, and it seems like he's definitely more on the Hail Mary side, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, he great as
but
Rylan Grace, but
this.
yeah, right,
Not for
exactly.
this.
Yeah.
Rylan Grace would not be a world-renowned starfighter pilot. And then they also claim that it's the fastest ship, and I am a diehard Millennium Falcon fan, and it is not the fastest ship, by the way.
How many times have we heard that?
Yeah, right. So 12 parsecs, guys, can't beat that one.
And we
The
will
Kessel
see.
Run.
It was 12.
It was 12. The Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, which is nuts. And I don't think Gosling's doing that. Sorry. So, moving on.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. We have a host of sequels, and I'm going to name them, and including a little bit about what their story was, kind of like what they've confirmed, and then we're going to go back and talk about the things that interest us the most. Okay, so sequels: The Incredibles 3, in which, or according to Deadline, they describe as quote, "It's the kids' turn in the spotlight." That's Peter Docter at Pixar who said that. Then we got a first look at teenage Miguel in Coco 2, with the return of Ernesto de la Cruz confirmed.
Okay.
Then we have Lilo and Stitch 2, the live action.
Great.
Zootopia 3, which will introduce birds, which I thought was funny. Someone said, like, how many birds are, or how many creatures are marginalized in this society? Like, that's the problem.
Mammals, you know.
Mammals, the worst of the worst. And then lastly, Frozen 3, with Anna and Kristoff finally tying the knot with a mysterious villain who also seemingly has ice powers or something like similar. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. Jake, which of those catches your eye the most?
I'm hopeful for Zootopia 3. I'll take the same stance as Zootopia 2, that I think that's going to be a good one. Just because it does, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. But I don't know, I think Zootopia is it's a decent franchise, and I'm not as mad about a third installment of that one as I probably am Frozen. And
we took forever to get here.
And a second Coco.
Yeah.
And then Incredibles 3, I'll give them a chance, but I'm not too hopeful because 2 was just okay. And until I start seeing some like real progress with, I guess, the ages, I do want to see Dash grow up. I do want to see Violet grow into her own. And then Jack, obviously, probably where Dash and Violet are in the first and the second one. Like, I want to see some growth in both power and skill and age, and then, you know, them kind of taking what they say the spotlight, but I want them to be the new generation of heroes. Like, I want them to be their parents in their heyday.
See, this is to add on to that point, because that was exactly what I wanted to see as well. And like, I would love to have seen those older heroes who still can get it done, but they're taking a back seat. Exactly what you're saying. The kids are taking their turn in the spotlight. They're not aged. And apparently another story beat is that Bob is struggling with his strength.
He's losing it.
Right.
Not great.
A reported story beat is that Bob is having like issues. Yeah. And that his strength is like fading, but it's not fading. It's like, think like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. Like, that's like the idea, right? However, why is that happening now? Right. Why, like, if you're going that route, if you're like the kids are the main focus and Bob's struggling with age, why are they not older?
Right.
Like, I just feel like you've done everything but make them older because you don't want to redesign them. Like, I think that's it. I really feels like you don't want to take the time to redesign what their characters would look like aged up.
I really think they're bullying Bob. I think that they're tearing him down. I don't know.
Math is math.
Yeah. Genuinely, from the first movie to the second and now to the third, they have both made him dumb and incompetent in terms of being the guide of the family, or at least the father figure of the family. I don't know. I'm not going to go down a woke route, and I'm not going to go down the Republican route. I'm just saying that, like, what he was once great, and for some reason in the second movie they tore him down, and it's like you could have had Helen, Elastigirl, be the center without making Bob fail at taking care of the kids, parenting, and being a hero. Like, you didn't have to tear him down to tell the story. And I think that was intentional, and they thought that, I don't know, it was crucial to the character of the story, but there was no growth.
Yeah. Like, what was the climb up after that?
I think it was just trying to make a societal point without, but like, if you do that, I want to see a character that, I mean, from the first movie, he was the main character. We grew to love him, and then we didn't get any growth. Yeah. From in the second movie. So with the third, with you saying that, that's like, kick him while he's down. I guess he can't parent, and now he doesn't have his powers, and now it's kind of, I'm not going to boil him down to those two things, but he's a father and he's a superhero, and guess what? He can do both. Yeah. So now it's kind of like, okay, great. I don't know. I have a problem with that. I think with the Incredibles, they're a family, and they're supposed to be a crew of crime fighting heroes, and now Bob is the punching bag and not really even the comedic relief
Yeah.
anymore. But back to the kids, like, can we get Jack like absolutely going ham as a teenager?
I would be
And,
interested
like,
to see how his powers develop over age. Yeah.
And then I did see that people are speculating that Gamma Ray Jack is going to be the villain in this one, but I'm not sure. People are like grasping at straws with some art that came out, but it's going to be interesting because he's from Bob and Helen's golden days, and he is pretty darn powerful in terms of what he can do. So I do look forward to that.
Yeah. I would be interested to see just how they develop. And again, it's got some shortfalls, but I will always be seated for at least until they get to like 5, probably. Once they keep abusing this franchise, I'll probably get tired of it. But right now, I'll be seated for 3. I didn't think 2 was that bad, but I did think it lacked in some areas. I will say, I think that the comedic relief or the comedic beat was supposed to be that like Ellen went off and she was both, and that Bob could not. And I don't know if that was meant to be the funny of it, but there were some pretty funny moments that came out of that. Yeah. But I will say, like, now that I'm thinking back, because it's been a number of years since I've seen 2, I don't remember what the resolution was to that. Like, what was
She came home.
Yeah. Like, was there, because I know he went off to save her and he got possessed. Yeah. And then Frozone had, like, the best, like, sacrificial, take the car. Like, Frozone was the hero.
Yep.
And then the kids, and then Jack happened to take the goggles off of Mom, of Ellen. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember beyond that. I think you make a good point that I never really thought about, because again, I watched it at the time, said this wasn't as good as the first, but it's okay, and like walked away. That's a good point. I will still be there for 3, but you have made me rethink of how I view that film. I need to rewatch it. But that's a good point.
I don't want to tear down Helen. She deserved the role that she played.
Oh, Helen was great.
And it was great. She got to be the star and solve the mystery. And, and like, I loved everything.
I think that was the point, but they did overkill.
Bob was a punching bag when they're supposed to be a team.
Yeah.
Maybe it's conversation on without each other.
You fail because they're a team.
Fails, but like Helen won. Like,
well, she did get possessed. I think that was maybe her fail.
Which is to spotlight that the kids are good in their own right. I don't think that's like
they didn't
nag on her or Bob.
That's a good point, but I will say, like, they didn't get them off until all of them were together. Yeah, like that. Like, maybe that's like the thing, is that like apart they are weak, but together, that probably is what they're trying to say. But it was also trying to raise Helen as like she's not just the wife, like she is like. But when I think back to Incredibles 1, she was awesome when she snuck onto the island and like she was able to sneak around and find Bob and save him, essentially. Yep. And so it's like we did kind of already see her have that in the first one. Yeah. So
which you could get Bob captured and tear him down emotionally and kill his family or whatever, and then have him be saved. And I don't think that was a wrong thing to do.
Right.
It was the fact that like Bob didn't come up with his own way to be a good parent and like the tips and the tips and tricks of parenting. Like Bob didn't come up with his own way of not containing, but like taking care of Jack with all of his powers, or Dash, or.
But you know what else is weird about that? They've had kids for how long?
Right.
Now?
Like, and he didn't have that's what the growth I'm talking about is. Like, he didn't figure out a way to do it. He didn't like superhero his way through and use his powers to his betterment and was able to corral the kids and be a good parent.
He just got called back into action. He left.
He just he failed. The kids got taken or saved by another person.
Their uncle, essentially.
Their uncle, and then he gets taken over. He didn't do anything. So I'm just kind of reiterating the same point over and over again. But like,
no, but you make a good point.
Let us know if you agree or think differently. But like, I'll fight for Bob on this one. I don't think he was done right in 2. And it's unfortunate to hear the rumors of 3 beating him
while he's down. I think that's a great point.
I'm looking forward to 3 though, for the kids to take the spotlight. I hope that they will have more skills and we get to see more feats of strength or speed or etc.
Of all the sequels, I will say we talked the most about the one that Incredibles 3 was the one that I was like, okay, like I'm behind that, just because I feel like there could be more story. Again, not the way that they should be doing it, but this is the story, is the kids. So I look forward to that one. But you wrote off Coco 2 really quick. I'm
Yeah,
telling
one
you,
was good, but like did we need a two?
Miguel is a grown up dealing with those things a little bit better. Like he's learned about, like it's the Day of the Dead. He's learned about the kind of the afterlife a little
Yeah.
bit more. And I wouldn't mind seeing, because like we saw the downfall of Ernesto de la Cruz in the afterlife. I'd like, well, how is he going to respond?
Mhm.
Like all these years later. This one is not as bad as I thought. Because mainly because the original Coco was so good.
Yeah.
So and when you say as bad as I thought, like I was not of the reaction you had when I say like, Coco 2, why do we need it? Because like I saw that one, I was like, I guess I could see a sequel to that. But as long as it stops here. That's my thing. It's like it won't, because it'll succeed and they'll make a third. But
I just didn't think that there was room for a two. Like I don't know what story there is to continue, and I guess I write it off because I don't understand. I mean, the need is money. Like why do we need a two? Well, money. But I don't see a reason that the story has to continue outside of monetary gain.
yeah,
It's just kind of like that story was pretty buttoned up and like everything was resolved.
yeah,
And so now that's what the majority of sequels that come out anyway. That's what they are.
yeah.
Everything was buttoned up in the first one, but we can open it up again because somehow he lived.
Somehow he returned.
Yeah.
That's what I will say. This the last thing I'll say about Coco 2 is just that like I agree, and this could have ended as a one-off, and I would have been like, that was a perfect way to end that. However, Miguel being a teenager and him reacting with more respect to these things, and he's not just a naive kid, I would be interested to see how the story develops in that sense. That's the only reason why I think I can see that, is because I'd be interested to see how, as he's grown up, because at this point he would have been through multiple Day of the Deads, right? Like he would have been through a number of them. He would have seen his grandmother again. He would have been through there, and that's why it's like the return of Ernesto after all those years is interesting. But it would have to stop there.
Yeah.
And if I'm hoping that it's good, but at the same time, it's like for the sake of the original, it's like I don't want them to desecrate the grave of Coco more. If it is good, to keep continuously making them until they're bad, which is what they normally do. But anyway, rounding out
Coco 4.
rounding out D23. We have a few other things we'll talk about. The new logo for the new Simpsons movie hit, and why are we getting another Simpsons movie?
I didn't watch the first one.
The first one's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
is that the dome?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have seen it a little bit.
It's
but
pretty
not
good.
the whole thing.
I like the Simpsons movie, but
enough
I don't
to
think we needed a sequel. John Favreau announced a 3-part miniseries coming to Disney Plus in February. For I didn't write the actual name.
Oh.
For oh gosh, I'm terrible.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna.
No, go ahead.
No.
He just types in D23 and expects Jon
No.
Favreau's particular story to
I
come
was gonna go to D23, but it didn't work. Oswald.
Oh, like the octopus or
No, like the rat, like the mouse, like the original, like with Mickey. Like Oswald is like
Oswald.
old. Yeah.
Got it. Black and white.
Yes, black and
cartoons.
white Oswald. It's gonna be apparently 2D animated. It's gonna be like kind of true to form. I've seen a lot of these that have like, they have like real life art,
Yeah.
like 3D.
That looks like
That's like 3D.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. But
what it
Oswald
looks
is
like.
back. That is what
Is he
currently
a rat? No, I thought it
he's
was a
a
bunny.
oh well, it went away.
What is Oswald?
What is Oswald?
Chat.
Anyway, 3-part miniseries coming to Disney Plus at some point in February 2027. So in the very near future, actually. Moving on.
He's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Rabbit.
He was one of Disney's like OG characters, like OG characters.
Kind of drawn like Cuphead if you guys are into that.
Yeah. We also got our first look at the live action Tangled, which will hit theaters in March of 2028. And Pixar introduced us to its next original feature, a film titled Ghost Market, set for release in 2028.
Do we know anything about it?
It's about, from what I had read, it's about a kid who very quickly describes that like ghosts aren't as scary as we think, and it's just showing him get like a bowl of hot soup at this eerie market, and it's like a ghost market. And so I'm assuming that it's going to take like a Coco route where he's like able to communicate. But I think
Paranormal.
it was in like not California, but they said a specific place, and I'm blanking on the name. But like that essentially, it was very quick. There was very little. Like they did not do a lot, but
Interesting.
yeah, that is the majority of what the story was about. I can actually probably look it up. If I do D23 and go news, it'll probably be in there. But yeah,
Mm. All right.
any of those catch you like suit your fancy, catch your eye?
No, those are kind of like the you have them titled as other, but that'd be about it. I get Ghost Market could probably be like a Soul style deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Tangled live action's gonna it's gonna do well, but god dang it, I hate it.
Ghost Market was originally going to be a feature, according to Deadline, but it became a film, or going to be a series, but then it became a feature film after a pivot. So according to Deadline, it's following a young boy named Kyle who walks into a dark, empty kitchen. His family moved to Hawaii. They've been forced to move to Hawaii by his family. He finds a bowl of warm soup that's been readily made, but it's a spooky place. And he says, "Hey, do you guys take Apple Pay?" as a joke. We then see him on FaceTime telling us that the movie is about hungry ghosts and that Ghost Market isn't like other scary movies.
Gotcha. So it's a Apple advertisement.
Yeah. Right in the
Hawaiian market.
immediately, right in the teaser.
Yeah.
Hey, Apple.
Yeah. Yeah. Shove down your throat.
So that's what Ghost Market.
That's D23 as a whole, pretty much.
Yeah. There's other things like they showed a trailer for the new Wolverine game, a trailer for Ahsoka season 2, and a few other like a handful of other things, but nothing really that's like worth communicating. Like I love Insomniac.
Yeah.
But they're apparently not releasing that game on PC.
And it looks meh.
I'm not hopping back. I'm not paying Sony more money.
No.
Like I'm just not. And so sorry, I'm not playing Wolverine, but it does look good. Like I will say, like it looks like a good game. But it'll hit PC because Sony's money grubby and they will be like, give me no more money. And so they'll put it back on Steam and it'll be there. But anyway, that's all that's from D23. Anything else you want to tell the people before we get to before we get to segment 3?
I got nothing.
Okay, so let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to talk about what you should know before you go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You've made it to segment 3, which is always what you should know before you go. And I do want you guys to know that before we came back from break, me and Jake both just like went like this, and we both like popped like a ton of like I know my neck and my back and everything popped. And Jake does look at me and goes, "Old," and I was like, "Yeah." We've been sitting here talking about movies for half an hour, and we're not even half an hour, for a full hour, and we're like,
almost an hour and a half.
Oh, my back. We're old. But anyway, I always take this time to get on my soapbox, the box of soap. There it is. I knew he's going to do it. He's going to flash it on the screen. Just to thank you for being here. We do a lot to try to prepare for this every week. It takes a good amount of time, and especially like to make sure that everything's on the socials. And so the fact that you're here to support us means the world. We're trying to make this as fun of an experience as possible, as much as a podcast can be with two white guys with beards just yapping away. But we do have a lot of fun doing this, and a lot of fun just talking about like what's going on with Marvel, what's going on with the movies. Like last week, Robert Pattinson ended up with his old Chris Hansen, his new film, which we will be going to see, and we'll probably review, to be honest, because it looks really good. But the fact that you allow us to do this, come in after talking about Chris Hansen, talking about D23, is absolutely amazing, and I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this and to just hang out with my bro and hang out and just do our thing. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for allowing us to do this. So like, subscribe, comment, the whole thing.
Share or screenshot and
one of those things.
Signals. Yes,
one of those things. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on iHeartRadio, and it's on YouTube. Follow us on our socials, beyondthescreen.podcast on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever you get your podcast, we are. And so we'd love to see you there. And so with that out of the way, we have a very quick what you should know. So let's get through it and let's get you out of here. DC pushed back the digital release of Supergirl after fan backlash to what seemed to be AI-generated concept art of Jason Momoa as Lobo in a behind-the-scenes featurette posted to YouTube.
I saw that. That was nuts.
It looked bad.
Yeah.
It looked like it was just AI. Like, fresh from chat. Like,
when there's hundreds of comics, probably, of Lobo drawn.
Just get one of them to draw it.
Yeah.
Like you're DC.
Yeah.
You employ the artists. You the illustrators. Just
Yeah.
It really is just a like you couldn't take.
Hey, money's tight. Parents are fighting. Remember?
Money's tight.
Yeah.
Money's
They're
tight.
being sold.
Yeah, I'm sure that ticking fee must really be hurting their pocket.
Yeah,
They're the ones.
They can't hire any artist to draw Lobo.
With $7 million a day. $7 million a day. That's crazy. They're already hired. They're already there. It really just looks. You know why it looks so bad is because Momoa was like,
loved it.
He was in that or like attached to that for how long?
Yeah.
Why? You just didn't have to, and they did it.
Lobo.
Yeah, I'm Lobo. Every now and again, I'm contractually obligated to be in this show one time for 30 seconds at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's Lobo.
How's the wife?
Yeah.
Good. How the kids? Good.
It's just lazy. And as well, if you're the director, how tone deaf are you that you don't realize there's a camera there and you don't know that your audience hates that? How tone deaf?
I don't remember. Was it this presentation or was it another one that literally had like, according to ChatGPT, it was like a screenshot of their.
Wasn't that
D23 or was that?
I think it was Stranger Things.
Oh, was it? No, it was recent, very recent.
Oh no, I don't know
It
then.
was in a presentation. I don't remember.
Oh wait, yeah, you're gonna have to look it up because I know what you're talking about. No, I thought you were talking about the Duffer Brothers. Like one of their crew or like one of them actually had open chat on their desktop. You could see it in their browser.
Yeah.
While they were in the writing room for the last season of Stranger Things, which is so funny. I thought that's what you were. I thought that's what you're hitting at. But while you look that up, I see what you're typing in.
Stop. I think it was could have been Lobo itself. Oh yeah, it was. Oh no, it was Avatar.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's what it was. So they were going through like all of the different what do you call it? Art.
Yeah.
Or concept art, and it literally like somebody zoomed in on it and screenshot it somewhere in here. Also according to ChatGPT, just outright stated in the presentation for the concept art of Avatar San Diego Comic-Con panel. So
just don't. You know, like, just don't. But it saves money.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna hear. But it saves money. Just don't.
Anyway.
Or at least be smart enough to cover your tracks. Like, you know, like
Well,
I'm happy they don't because we get to call them out.
yeah, and you have to cite sources.
You kidding?
I mean, Comic-Con?
I mean, like teach your kids to do that, but you think those big corps want to do that? I don't care.
Why'd they write it?
Well, because they forgot to take it out. That's what they didn't mean to.
They explicitly said also according to.
I would say that was chat that wrote that itself, and they didn't mean to.
Could have been, or an intern that.
Yeah.
Like slip that one.
That
in
was
there.
a complete. Yeah, they did it on purpose. They had no idea. Paramount had no idea that was happening. No idea. And I would say DC didn't care or Warner.
Well,
that was Paramount. They own the Aang. Yeah. They own Avatar. But yeah, just and of course Paramount.
Actually, that doesn't strike me that they would actually just straight claim that.
I guess you're right. Of course, anything Warner Brothers, we're gonna find a way to get to Paramount. But anyway, let's continue moving. Dune Part 3, they budged. Warner Brother budged 4 days earlier to IMAX, December 14th. You got to think because of Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man freaked them out, so they moved their IMAX release 4 days early.
So we won't get Doomsday, or do you think we'll still overlap?
I think, well, they will still overlap on the 18th for everything else.
Is they don't debut the same day. So you can't do Doomsday as a trend.
No, they debut in IMAX 4 days early.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world is
Same
with,
day?
yes.
I guess Doomsday will still
Every other
technically-
screen, if you can't get to an IMAX, every other screen will be 18th.
I would argue that it wouldn't matter. Doomsday's still on. Hear that, folks? Doomsday's still
I think
on.
I think that shows that Warner is freaked out.
Yeah, definitely.
They saw Spider-Man. They said, "Oh no!"
Oh no!
They
Doomsday.
said, "We are
Everybody's
screwed.
gonna put in 60 hours.
We
of watch
are
hours,
screwed." Yeah,
and they're gonna rewatch the whole MCU.
Yeah.
We're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Anyway, and our last story, there was a Power Rangers reboot at Disney Plus apparently that just got canned. And apparently it's canned because Matt Damon is teaming up with another director to make a Power Rangers spoof. Not Power Rangers, but something similar to Power Rangers. And they got
also through Disney?
No.
Oh.
It's through someone else.
So they just
but
canned it because
from what
of
I had
that?
seen online, that was like the rumor. Was like Disney saw that Matt Damon and another director were creating something
Ben Affleck.
I don't think it's Ben Affleck, but that'd be hilarious if it was.
Would be great.
Apparently, those two creators, not Ben Affleck, but Matt Damon and someone else, had come together and are creating a Power Rangers light or like type of film, and that scared Disney enough that they decided not to. They decided just to can it because they didn't want to be overshadowed. Which says a lot about like the state of Power Rangers, because that like at one point in time that would have been crazy to even try. Now Power Rangers is what? Yeah, you see the post that I found.
Yeah, there's nobody else attached to it besides Matt Damon.
Yeah, because that's in early production, but I feel like they were worried.
Apparently, Emma Stone passed on that one.
Really? Oof. Anyway, any other thoughts? That's been all of our breaking
That
news.
is it. I'm sad about Waller. About the only one, and then
I am.
Dune Part 3.
A Catwoman series would have been sick. By the way, with Zoe Kravitz, that would have been awesome. But other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape here.
I'm Lobo.
But with that, we got to talk about the recommendation of the week.
Oh, is it you?
Yeah,
Should
it's
be
me.
you.
It is
We've
me.
been waiting on yours for like.
Yeah, because we went with Dylan. We got off topic.
Yep.
My recommendation this week, if you haven't seen it, it's going around on TikTok, and me and a friend of mine, we sat and we watched it because we both had it from our childhood. Flushed Away.
Oh my gosh! I thought you were gonna say what is it, 8 or
9?
9?
9 was another
9.
one. I did like 9. 9 scared me as a kid, but I rewatched it when I was a teenager because I was like, why was I so scared of this? And I was like, I know why I was scared of this. It's terrifying.
I'm still scared of
But
it.
it's a good movie. Flushed Away.
Synopsis?
Hugh Jackman plays a pet mouse, or I guess he's technically a rat, who lives in like the posh side of the UK in London, right? When all of a sudden a sewer rat comes flying out of his drain pipe when he's home alone after his rich family goes off on vacation.
And I guess he has free reign in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not an enclosure.
He is, but he's able to get out.
Yeah.
So after he's able to, or he's trying to trick this sewer rat to get in a toilet to flush him back down.
Yeah.
He is pushed in the toilet and flushed down himself, where he discovers this metropolis of rat that is mimicking up the upper city above, so London.
Yep.
And he goes on this grand adventure trying to get back home to Kensington.
Yep.
And it's this awesome cast. It's Bill Nighy, it's Andy Serkis, it's Hugh Jackman, it's Kate Winslet. And it is just the funniest, dumbest humor. Ian McKellen is the main villain in that.
Yep.
He plays the Toad.
Yep.
And the Toad is one of the funniest villains of all like childhood for me. He's just so funny. There are moments where he will say things and you're just like, why? Like because he's this big British toad who came from the royal crown flushed because they got a dog or something. Like it's like the dumbest reason. Yeah, the dumbest reason why he's in the sewers. But there's a point in the movie, and my favorite part is they're just about to get back to Kensington, and they're like riding. They're on the Jolly Dodger, which is just a boat that the other rat, Rita, that she commands for whatever reason because she's a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
And the Toad, wanting to get back, something I won't describe because I don't want to spoil the whole thing, he sends his cousins who are from France, and it's Le Frog.
Mm-hmm.
And their bits, they have a whole mime who follows them around. They're these ninja fighting French kung fu thing, whatever. And they're just so funny. Like the frogs are awesome, and just the whole thing, the whole bit with them fighting is just amazing. And that's right before the very end too. So when you get there, you'll know. It's like the climax of the movie. One of my all-time favorites from my childhood. I could still like, I have, now having watched that, I have like stems from the movie. Like, Rita! Like him yelling her name. That's what he does the whole movie. Hugh Jackman as Roddy. There's another moment where he's trying to like the Toad's minions are about to capture him. He's like, I'm an innocent bystander, and they think he says his name is Millicent Bystander, and they openly make fun of him for that. And the rest of the movie, they call him Millicent.
Nice.
Not once do they call him Roddy. And that is so funny. Like that to me, it's over, Millicent. And it's just like, it's like an hour after the joke was first made. You're like, we still haven't forgotten about that. So I love Flushed Away. Go watch Flushed Away if you are a fan of claymation. If you're a fan of like Aardman, I'm thinking Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run. It's right in that realm. It's not as good as those, but it is right there. It's funny. Like it's just so good. It's more dumb than those.
Yeah, I like Flushed Away more than Wallace and Gromit.
Really?
It's a little bit more dirty, I guess.
Yes, very much so. I think a lot of people would disagree with that. I think a lot of people disagree.
Wallace and Gromit kind of, I would argue, bore me unless the penguin's in the shot. So
he is a menace.
Yeah.
But anyway, my friends, that's Beyond the Screen. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.